Kyler Murray is officially a Viking. What does this mean for the future of the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy? Let's find out. First, J.J. McCarthy now has quarterback competition, which I think could be beneficial to both him and Kyler Murray. Obviously, there are the obvious downsides of not knowing for sure who's going to be your starting quarterback next season. So the center is not, first of all, we don't even have our center for next year yet, but he's going to be splitting with JJ and Kyler. So it's going to be a little tough, but JJ McCarthy performs best under pressure. He has that it factor, which was shown last season several times. He is best when he is under pressure, and bringing in the quarterback, another quarterback to potentially beat him will put that pressure on him. However, you could say the opposite. You could say it might, be a little bad for J.J. McCarthy's confidence. However, I don't think he's that type of guy. I think he's like that. Everything happens for a reason type of guy. I think this will be motivation for him, not, tearing him down. Kyler Murray is coming out of Arizona with a chip on his shoulder, especially after that whole Call of Duty scandal thing. He's got stuff he wants to prove, and I'm sure he's going to bring out the absolute best because he's motivated to be helped by Kevin O'Connell and to bring his childhood favorite team to a Super Bowl. So I guarantee he's going to give it his all, which is great for both Kyler and J.J. McCarthy. Security at backup quarterback. This flaw was shown and exposed, spread them cheeks wide open last season. J.J. McCarthy goes down week 2. Carson Wentz takes over. He's solid, but he has to play several games with a torn labrum and just dog it out. And then Max Bros comes in, and that was a complete fucking disaster. So we're not going to talk about that. But the lack of depth at quarterback, the quarterback position last season showed. Them cheeks were wide open. There was no hiding it. But now, if J.J. McCarthy starts, you got a very viable backup who is almost on the same level as him in Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray starts, you have a very viable backup who's almost on the same level as him, J.J. McCarthy. And then you might even still have Carson Wentz as your third quarterback. That's a pretty good 3-quarterback set. And this also means if you have a viable backup quarterback, and they're on the similar level as the starter, mid-season, if one of them isn't working out, you can just flip the switch and change to your backup. And you won't have to start panicking because your backup actually is good. Kyler Murray can absolutely win the starting job. The starting quarterback position in 2026 for the Minnesota Fine Vikings is not even close to a lock. It is completely up in the air. The cheeks are wide open, I think. Kevin O'Connell was relying on J.J. McCarthy to show that he's that guy that last season. He showed flashes, but he did not do enough to prove that he can be that guy. So Kevin O'Connell has seeds of doubt. I guarantee it. He would never say it, obviously, but I guarantee it. So he will not hesitate to put Kyler Murray in there. I don't think he has a big ego like a guy like Mike Zimmer, where his guy has to work out because it's his guy. I think he's not very egotistical. If Kyler is better, he will start him. I guarantee it. I promise you. I promise it. I promise you it. Kyler Murray, I still think, has so much potential. He is only 28 years old, and if he can win the starting job and he's good and consistently gets better, he can be a franchise quarterback still. He is that young. He can still be a franchise quarterback. He could be a franchise quarterback for the next we're just going to say the next 6 years. Maybe even longer than that. So Kyler Murray can be potentially a long-term solution. The playbook stays exactly the same. Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy have basically the exact same play styles. When you have a guy like Kirk Cousins as your starting quarterback and Josh Dobbs as your backup, If Kirk Cousins goes down, you completely flip the playbook. It's completely different. You have to basically reinvent the playbook. Kirk Cousins is a pocket passer. Josh Dobbs is a scrambler. Completely different. Kirk Cousins ain't moving for nothing. Maybe unless he's Kirk O'Chains, but other than that, no. You have to completely change your game day approach. You have to completely change your planning. You have to literally change everything. And that can be completely disastrous. And if you don't change it, we saw exactly what happened. Josh Dobbs, Kevin O'Connell tried to make him a pocket passer like Kirk Cousins. Didn't work out. He started being ass. With this, if one of them goes down, it's the same exact playbook. RPOs, lots of passes. You can obviously run with any quarterback. You can still do read options. It's perfect. Kevin O'Connell is being set up for success, and I think this season he needs to win a playoff game or he is likely going to get fired. It's only uphill for Kyler Murray from here. I really don't see him getting any worse than he was in Arizona, especially with Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer. So he gets to be on his favorite childhood team. He gets a good competition, a great coach, especially for quarterbacks, an offensive-minded guy, quarterback-minded guy. Even off the field, he's probably going to get better too, because that's the culture that Kevin O'Connell has built in the locker room, and that usually leads to better gameplay on the field on game day. Overall, I think this is a win for everyone. It's a win for Kyler, obviously getting out of the garbage-ass Cardinals. A win for JJ McCarthy, gives him competition, motivation. Win for Kevin O'Connell, gives him options, allows him to really cement himself as the quarterback whisperer, as seeds of doubt were planted after last season with JJ McCarthy. Overall, I think Kyler Murray was a great, phenomenal signing, the perfect quarterback competition person for JJ McCarthy and this team overall. Let me know what you think, though, of the Vikings signing Kyler Murray. And on top of all this, Kyler Murray is put in one of the best situations in the league with what can potentially be a phenomenal offensive line if we get that center and they're able to stay healthy. He has two incredible wide receiver ones. He has a great tight end in TJ Hawkinson, who might have took a step back last year, but I still think he's a great tight end. What has potential to be a great running game with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason if they're used properly. I don't really think there's a better situation you could put a young quarterback in, or really any quarterback. That's going to be it for this video, though. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out another video on the screen if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. And